Good morning. I'm Peter, and I had a tough day yesterday. Supposedly you didn't notice, but I'm not sea level yet. I'm older than 28, so I'm basically stuck here. So if I shed some tears, please still bear with me. I would like you to guide you to a project I did where we introduced a new platform to an e-commerce site, Otto.de in Germany. I'm speaking here for the Otto Group. And the core, the heart of the Otto Group is the company Otto with the German e-commerce site Otto.de that has been founded 60 years ago. And 60 years ago, they started with a catalog with 25 pairs of shoes. And we're still sending out catalogs, big, fat telephone book styles, 5 million pieces a year. And what is interesting to see, if you look at the IT infrastructure and process landscape of Otto 5 years ago, you see this catalog heritage in the processes. Batch uploads, staging processes, handover to quality assurance, updating prices, handover to production, multiple change, multiple checks. This led to a result that if we wanted to fix a wrong price, we needed to open an emergency ticket. If we wanted to update our product database, we needed to take massive uploads to the databases, and it took us a week. And big software releases took us 2 to 3 months. Business came to me and said, gee, times are changing in some way or the other, and we need to be more relevant to the customer. Business demanded to serve the right product to the right customer at the right contact point at the right time, and respect social background, imminent demands, and other KPIs of the social behavior of the customer. And actually, I didn't quite understand what they were talking about. What I understood it was, gee, this is real time. And I was sure my platform and my process landscape and my team would not be able to cope with that. So what did I do? I did what every good IT director does. I did market research, I did business case calculation, I made project assumptions, and I went to the board. And actually, that didn't feel super because I was very unsure what to do. I suggested to the board, let's make the platform cheaper. I think that's good anyhow. You can always win with that approach. Nonetheless, we wouldn't be able to fulfill the business demands with that. Second option, stick with what we have. Let's just do a release update, maybe get better, but it's not that costly. Third approach, let's buy the state-of-the-art Magic Quadrant leader, top-notch software, no matter what the invest is, and try to learn from the process that is implemented there. And the fourth option was, actually, we don't know what to do. And in a hectic debate, the board decided that we don't know what to do. And we had to decide whether to vote for stability, do IT projects in the classic way, or vote for change. And 5 years ago, I got the task to prepare a platform that is technically enabling change and build an organization that can handle change and is fast. Okay, read a book, change management, start with a vision. That's what we did, hired a change manager, and we knew that we were in trouble. Why do you do vision work, actually? It's standing in the book, that's okay, but nobody told me why I'm doing vision work. And stumbling on the Lelou cultural model of organizations, my company and maybe most of your companies are described as machines. They strive for profit. They manage by objectives. They have organizational structures that enables empowerment of sub-organizations. And each and every employee feels to be a tiny wheel in the machine. Millennials, and especially IT, tech millennials, don't accept that. And the next step organizations can take Lelou describes that as a concept of the family. They still try to earn money, but they strive for customer success. They try to build up a company culture. They want to help each other. And in this environment that you also find in startups, the ideas of lean, Eric Rice, and agile, Schwaber, have been born. And what I understood is that I want to have this culture in my organization. I need that culture to have an organization that is fit for change. That's why you need to do vision work. And that's why we did vision work over weeks with the entire organization. My project team for 2 years was 200 people, so it was quite a role. And it was super important for each and every individual to derive their own and their team targets from a shared vision. Second thing, I wanted to delegate responsibility. I'm a terrible IT guy, and I hate working hard. So I figured it's a wise decision to get teams able to work. To delegate something, you need to do 2 things. You need to enable the team, and you need to make the team learn. Enabling is 2 steps. We wanted to do a 3 billion e-commerce platform in 2 years. So that sounds rather demanding. So first of all, we need to cut down the scope in parts and portions that can be handled by a team. Tough decision to make, hard work, result is a split architecture. Second thing for enabling is grab together all the skill the team needs to build software. That's not only analytics, SEO expertise, UX design. We put operational skill, architecture skill, software development, product ownership, all in one team. There was no handover, there was no conception, that's just teamwork. Making an organization learn is rather easy. We introduced Scrum. There are different ways to do it. I like Scrum personally, and that builds up reflection process very fast. And now the last thing we need in order to delegate is we need a learning culture. So what we wanted to do is that every team, we wanted to make sure that every team has a customer that they can learn from, to get feedback from the results of the product development of each team. We have monitors, I think we have 100 monitors all over the place with real-time business information in every team we have. This is the Titanic. My son helped me draw it. And the Titanic, you know the story? I wasn't there even, I'm not that old yet. But I'm sure, I know it, that the guys ordering the Titanic specified to the engineers how it's supposed to be. And that's why they messed up. If the Titanic guys would have told the engineers, we want to have a ship that can travel in X days from UK to US, the engineers would have definitely thought about icebergs in the way, even though they weren't specified. So I want to make the point, if you talk to engineers, enable them, that's important, give them scope they can bear, and tell them why they are supposed to do something, not what they are supposed to do. Because whoever says what should be well aware that he's responsible for the outcome. New IT projects, if you want to go to the board and get for new IT projects, offer a 3-tier architecture. It always works. It has been in the books for years, for decades, and I've studied IT 25 years ago. This picture has 2 main faults. First fault, it has a square around it. And you see in your IT architectures lots of softwares that are squared and don't leave the scope of their design in the project phase. The board decides on the scope of the project. How bold can those guys be? It's dramatic. I would never do that. Second flaw is, if you look at Conway's law, it states that organizations build architecture and architecture builds organizations. And if you have a 3-tier architecture, I bet you have a skill-driven organization. You have the database guys and the operation system guys and the dev guys. And that leads, and I know it by my own practice, to a heavily messed up architecture. Entwined, slow, independent, and very entangled. you have to throw that away every 10 years, if you can. The anti-pattern that we established, and that's very similar to the metro story you just heard, is we have vertical teams. So each and every team of ours, with each and every skill, has a front end, a tiny snippet of the Otto.de site. It has a customer. It is responsible for operations. It has budgets. It's hiring. They're selecting team members. So they have every ingredient to become a fast-moving team. And they have feedback from the customer because they own a small portion, but a very proud portion of Otto.de. These are the architecture principles of a 350 people e-commerce organization. That's it. And it basically says one thing. That my teams don't share anything, despite a beer in the evening. They don't share code. They don't share data. They don't share infrastructure. And they don't share budgets. And they share nothing. And we do that. It's a costly process. We do that to be sure to speed. We introduced quality assurance and operations handover into the team building process in order to get a constant flow of releases. And that led to small iterations in production. And that was the point where I lost fear of going into production with new software. We can now do 500 releases a week, and we ramp up and down server infrastructure 50,000 times a year. And these KPIs show that we have everything fully automated, and this enables IT to fix errors in production, never roll back, fall forward, and bring on stuff to customer test as fast as possible. Time from software fixed to production readiness is way under 30 minutes with us. And that's what I think is flexible IT and a platform for growth that enables business agility. Thank you very much.